Yo.
Yes, sir.
What's up, guys? Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the troll.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Mzansi Reality. We're back again. It's that time where we have to deliver, obviously. We deliver what we can. We are going to jump the scenes, move from Nandipa story, and just talk about someone who, in my own belief, obviously wanted us to talk about. She just wanted something. We're going to help her maybe promote her song, if it's anything to go by. I've never listened to that song. I've never watched it. I'm hearing that, as she says, she forgot it herself, some of the songs.
No,
so she's a singer who forgets some of the songs that she has sang before. This is Zandie, obviously, someone who was very shy to show her face in cameras, someone who was not happy about the case being recorded and being broadcasted live, such that she was given that videos. It's fine, we're not going to be showing visuals of her, but we could be hearing the voice. That is a judgment that took almost 3 days for a judge to come to a conclusion, which is nothing like what we have seen about the bail hearing and so forth, and the extradition.
Abduction case
of Magutumani, yes.
You know, it took 2 days, literally 2 full days, not even full
days. Less.
Way less.
It's less. It's 1.5,
One and a half.
Well, we have seen how other judges are working. So far, we have 2 that we have seen that they work around the clock. They are very fast and they move as quick as they can. And we have obviously the Senzo one.
Where they take their sweet time.
The less we say, the less we talk about him, the better. So let's talk about now the person who made us wait for 3 days before she started testifying, such that she's still on the oath, by the way.
She's still under oath.
Still under oath, and she is even saying that I'm still under oath.
Yes.
But well, I can talk about it in any case. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it in a sense. So let's hear what this person had to say. Emily, greet our people.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Zandie Reality YouTube channel. We are back with another video. Well, this one is more like a recap, more like a review, more like a why now type of situation, why this, why now? But I guess a job. There's no such thing as bad publicity, it seems, in the files of this witness number 5. Witness number 5, right? Well, the person we're talking about, actually, it's Zandie Khumalo, and she did an interview with ENCA over the weekend promoting her new song. And I find it very, very strange and convenient that she decides to do these interviews or to promote any song during the trial. I always find it very but I guess it's the time where more eyes are on her, so she's trying to capitalize, right? So it's even how she speaks in that interview, her voice. It's like she has sinuses or something as she's speaking, It's like the English is coming from the nose to the tone, and the, of course, the huge ego behind the tone as well is not helping us feel like she shouldn't have had her face shown. She should have just shown her face so that we can see the emotions and the body language and everything. Because what was the point if you're still going to do an interview with ENCA? And by the way, I'm also surprised that ENCA took the interview.
They are a broadcasting company. For them, they've got nothing to lose. Someone who wants to come and add a story, they would take that any day, any time.
But the interview was a bit cold because she couldn't talk about the case for the first time. in the past 8 years, she actually could not talk about the case. And yeah, it brings some sort of relief. At least she was talking about the music. But of course, they couldn't take away those questions. They couldn't just extract the part that they have to ask about what was happening during the trial. And at the beginning, they had to get her at the beginning because they realized once they give her opportunity of her to promote her song, the opportunity might go away,
Yeah.
And I think I've said it before that she's cloud chasing. She's not done. She's still riding the Senzo Meyiwa trial wave even more now, in my opinion. And this is just the beginning. She just wants to move from singing at weddings to mainstream performances. And she's going to take the opportunity when it presents itself. And what a better time for that to happen before she testifies next week. By the way, guys, she still has to continue with her testimony next week, Monday. Okay? So ENCA decided to do an interview with her. And I thought we should look at this interview and some of the details pertaining to the case in her interview, since she'll be continuing with her testimony next week. Now, the first clip, it's where she's talking about, or they were asking her, why didn't she want her testimony to be shown, right? Let's have a look at it.
Very interesting question.
Yes. But just for clarity's sake and for someone who's watching, why were you not wanting us to see your testimony?
Firstly, I must say that I'm under oath right now. There's not much to say. Or there's not much that I can say right now.
Sure.
But obviously, this is a democratic country. I was just merely exercising my rights. And I feel that that is why even the court took about 2 days or so, you know? And they found that it was actually within my rights to actually exercise that. And I don't know why now is it a hoo-ha that we exercise my rights since this is a democratic country.
Yes.
It's a hoo-ha.
That's what you get. Don't be telling us about hoo-ha. Well, it took about 3 days. It took about 3 days. You are almost close to the answer.
It's the fact that she's taking pride in the fact that it took so long for judgment for her whether she show her face or not.
But what I'm learning about her is that for me, I think she doesn't have a lawyer.
Do you think so?
No, I think so, because look at this thing. A lawyer wouldn't have allowed her to come here and start talking to media while you said you don't want to show your face to media, doing exactly what was argued there. If these lawyers of media, are really that bad, they would go to court and say, we want to see her face now.
She's
this
not
person,
camera shy.
She has submitted that she was just doing this because
she's exercising her right.
Exercising her right, which
is
her
more
right
important
is more
than
important.
Senzo Meyiwa's
But it's not about her right per se. She's saying because everyone has been saying something and no one is willing to believe in the story that they are actually presenting.
Well,
They've went to all the medias in trying to present the story as much as they can, as articulate as they can while they are doing that. But no one is willing to believe them. They want to believe their story. So therefore, I didn't feel the need. This is said, and again, this is said as it was said on social media. Yes. I didn't feel the need for other people to actually hear my testimony or even see me. So that being said, putting those arguments against the arguments of the society at large, being people of interest for this case, because we're talking about a public figure here, that tells you that obviously as a public opinion member, we would win the case. It would outweigh her reasons.
True.
So, but I would not like that to happen because that will waste time.
Yeah, that would be a waste
Maybe that
of
would
more
take
time.
6 days.
It's
now.
fine. We'll take the voice.
We'll take the voice.
But I'm very. It's unfortunate for Meyiwa family that they cannot see her body expressions, considering the fact that she's been talking about the case unprovoked in the media all these years. It's so unfortunate that they now have to travel.
So this is more like a punishment to people who are not believing her story.
It's
to
not
say
even-
that's why I don't want to show my face or even hear you hearing my voice, because you guys don't believe my story. It's no longer about the issue of public. I'm a public figure and all those reasons that in this interview were not mentioned.
And it's not about the public. It's not about her. It's about justice for Senzo Meyiwa.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it has to be known who pulled the trigger and ended his life.
Yes.
That's what this is about. It's not about her.
Yes.
It's not about her family. It's about the family of Senzo knowing what happened to their son. Why is she making this about herself?
Because you have to believe what they say. And if you do not want to believe them, then you shall be punished. You shouldn't see them when they testify.
Maybe you're right on the aspect of her not having a lawyer, because the speaking and the tone is very careless, in my opinion.
It is careless. It is careless. It leaves a lot to be desired. But that being said, why I said this person didn't have a lawyer, because after the judgment, a person who's really strong about everything that they're saying would have taken this thing further, like Nandipa is doing now.
Yes.
So obviously that is that is costly, and if you lose, you might be struck with the cost. So that could be the reason why they left it at the first round, because now you would have to incur the cost that follows after the procedure, the first round of the procedure. You disputing that, you still don't feel aggrieved by the fact that people want to show you, want to see you, want to hear your voice, and you're taking it further. You're saying, I don't believe that should be the case. This is not a case of public interest. It would cost you money.
Well, let's play the second clip where she was asked how she's currently dealing with the backlash.
And how are you dealing with the backlash, as it were, from people across social media, I imagine in your own circle as well?
Yes. The thing is, this has happened 8 years ago. People had so much to say. They had their own opinions, and of which obviously they are entitled to that. And there's not much I can say. You know, my family and I have been, there's no platform that we've not been to trying to explain exactly what happened, but it seems like they choose what to listen to and they make their own decisions. So in that way, I was like, you know what, I don't owe anybody anything right now, because they've had their chance, and now the only people that I need to testify to, it's actually just the court. So whether there's a camera there or not, hey, I'm just there to testify. That's all.
So are we going to see your next testimony? Are we going to see your face? Is that what you're saying?
No, still not. But obviously you'll hear my voice, as been said before. And I just cannot wait to go back there and finish up.
That sounds like a story of acting. No, I cannot reveal what is to come next. Obviously, you're going to be hearing my voice. That I can tell you.
As for you will never see my face.
But we're seeing...
I'm sorry, guys. I know she has fans out there.
The wedding fans.
You have to admit this is funny. You'll never see my face.
We are seeing her face while she's saying that. We are seeing the face.
Wow.
We just cannot see it in the case itself.
You know, when she's saying that people are choosing what to believe, they're picking.
So if we were
so
believing
we
her,
are forced to believe everything that she's saying. Is that what she's saying to us?
Exactly.
We must just take it because she's saying it.
She's basically saying, I'm owning my truth. That's what her sister would say. Shadi, I own my truth. So she also says, in a nutshell, she owns her truth. if I tell you my truth, then you should be convinced that this is my truth, that nothing else. You should not question.
And her speaking that it's for the courts to decide. I'm like, in that it's for the courts. Don't forget, it's not just for the court. It's for Senzo's family that you need to answer to, because you were there, you know.
That part I don't owe anyone. You
do actually
owe
owe
that family,
an
even your
explanation.
sister's kid who's old now. You do owe her the justice for her
explanation.
father.
She should know what exactly happened and put it to bed and move on.
Yes.
That's what everyone wants.
It's been 8 years, yes. Indeed, it has been 8 years. If we were not playing around when it comes to pointing people, some even when people who were helping us wash cars, Senzo, are arrested, if we didn't waste time on that, we probably would have closed this case by now. But because there was a problem with pointing of people, hence some people were arrested. We were even thinking that maybe that's a person, and then later realized that actually this person was just helping Senzo, was helping Senzo with his car, washing it at some point. And most of you, as it is alleged, that you knew the person. Most of you, I don't know, but that's what we had to go through. So these 8 years, it was not an issue of the state or anyone. It was an issue of the people who were in the house. Then we choose to believe whatever we believe. Yes, that is true. Because of that, exactly that at some point someone was arrested, and someone that is familiar was arrested, and people just kept quiet and let that thing fly. And it didn't fly. Eventually, we had to go to second step. You know?
And it's amazing how they did not correct at the time that it was happening, that we know
right
this.
there. Like, I know this guy, guys. This is not him.
Yes, he had dreadlocks, but it's not him.
Right there.
That could have fixed this whole mess.
That's someone who's
that
got
we now
confidence
have
in what
now.
they saw. As we've seen you weeping in a court of law and pointing, and pointing several times, pointing at the person. It was going to be easier if you just went there and say, I'm pointing this person as a person of non-interest.
And I just like to remind them as often as I can, or everybody who's thinking that maybe we are over-exaggerating or whatnot. It's about justice for Senzo Meyiwa.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It is justice.
Justice for Senzo Meyiwa. Thank you very much. It's not about you guys. We wouldn't be interested in you if you were not in that house and you were able to be in the same place as the incident was taking place at the time. We wouldn't honestly be interested. Yeah, bon. So honestly, you guys owe Senzo and his family justice. Okay, that's all that people are actually concerned about. It's not even about your music. It's not even about all of that.
It's not about public figure music that is coming.
You know? And it isn't it painful that in order for Senzo's mother to see this testimony of Zandie, she has to travel to court to be able to see it.
Yeah. In person, actually see body language and all those things. The full package of the person who's testifying.
And be triggered all over again. Instead of just looking at the TV. I don't think she ever thinks much about that, doesn't she? No.
No, she doesn't.
Okay. So it's also amazing that ENCA gave her this platform to promote her music, you know?
I'm surprised too, because I'm thinking ENCA, I mean, there are other platforms that you'd go to, but because of this, she's getting a lot of interviews that not all other artists would get. It's her, I think, the family, I would say, not the family, the two of them.
And it's very interesting that the only time they are interested in showing up for these interviews or showing their faces on cameras to promote something that they are doing is when an opportunity to profit.
It looks to correlate with what is currently happening in their lives, and the headings of their songs and all those things aligned to the incidents that are happening, public figure, so that we can be talking. It's like a clickbait type of a thing. I would say it's a clickbait
Clout
because a
chasing.
clickbait on YouTube is when someone decides to put something exaggerated, and then when you go there, you get an anticlimax. You're like, what the hell? That's a clickbait for me. And
it also amazes me as to how there are many times during the year, and especially when you sing this type of music, you think December would be the time. Afro pop music, it usually is a good time to release singles and songs.
when people are about to
Happy.
enjoy, and there's this Happy New Year anticipated.
But somehow she chooses
irregularity of producing these songs, like, and it's singles most of the time.
It's
You can
singles.
tell that.
and you want to promote them at the time that the Senzo Meyiwa trial is happening. It's all very
It's like, I'm gonna gain.
calculative, in my opinion. You know?
Very. It is.
So also she forgot apparently lyrics to her, not even lyrics to her own song, child. She forgot her own song, what it is called, at some point in the interview. And she also said that she has a song called Public Figure.
Public figure coming.
Public Figure.
Talking about EP.
Oh my
It's
God.
about to, yeah. That's basically, I think I should just let you guys hear.
With Uqola. Uqola, I did a song with him as well called why am I forgetting my own song, really? Wow, maybe I'm just a little nervous. Yes, we worked together and we did a song together, and now we are doing this one, and there's another one that we're actually working on as well. People can also just keep on the lookout for that one.
Is this
I'm
part of
actually
a new
planning on releasing an EP very soon, but people can just be on the lookout for it. It's called The Public Figure. Taken from, obviously, there's a person who called me a public figure on social media, since
Okay.
people are saying whatever that they feel that they need to say.
Sure.
But obviously with the intent of trying to bury me. But obviously when you try and bury me, you have no idea that you're planting me. You know, so when you bury a seed, you think you're burying it, but you're planting it. So, yeah.
I wonder where they get this. They always know how to say the right thing.
It's
at the right
giving
time.
me deja vu of a sister.
You're planting me. You know, I
It's
got that when
It's giving me deja vu of a
I
sister.
got that when you you know, we as Zulus, and in
Yeah.
fact we as black people,
Yeah.
we believe that when the olden days, before we were using the casket or boxes for burying people, those coffins.
Yeah.
When you bury someone, you bury them in a soul, because in a sense you are planting them.
Oh, so now she's saying she's a seed, yeah.
So she's being planted while alive. She's
Kind of
alive.
what does a seed do? A seed grows, a seed produces fruit, and a seed produces more seeds. And a seed
So,
is
yes,
prosperity.
yes.
A seed.
So she's being planted while she's still alive. In her own explanation, that's what I'm thinking in my own explanation, and I was thinking
And
about
even
that.
when you are saying it in the cultural context of when we put a person to rest, and we are saying
Why we
that
were not banning
we are
people?
blending.
We believe that when we put them on the soul, they will mix with the soul, and then they will grow a new generation. They will be guiding the new generation spiritually. So yes, that's how deep this conversation was. she's being blunted.
I am sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Those of you who don't like me laughing, I cannot hold myself. Okay, this is funny. This is some funny.
So one thing also to look at, she didn't have anything she was working on because of the fight in the social media. Now there's a song. I'm sure
and
even
the public
person,
figure.
I'm sure even the person that is gonna work with on this song, I wouldn't be surprised that she thought about that in the studio. In fact, public figure. I was like, oh yeah, there's a public figure. I'm gonna work with Soren, so I'm gonna work with Emil. It doesn't matter. We're working with Emil.
And there's someone calling me a public figure on the social media.
They didn't know. They thought they are burying me, but they are planting me. They buried you in that case because you lost that case. They buried you.
And it's almost like she's showing the middle finger to everybody who called her public figure. For some weird reason, she still has
She
time
called herself public figure, by the way.
to throw shade.
She called herself public figure.
Yes, in her application.
She was afraid because of being a public figure.
Yes.
We didn't start that thing of being a public figure because we
She's
don't
the
know
one.
her. We don't have weddings where we would say we know her
invite
from.
wedding singers.
We don't go to weddings a lot. So she calls herself a public figure, and that's why she didn't want to show herself on television, which has changed, by the way, now. Now we are talking about something else. We're talking about because you don't want to believe me, then I don't want you to see me, which is totally different from being a public figure and being afraid of what people would look at you and say. It's everything. And I mean, it's everything. Indeed, you are planting this person.
Sure. So another clip on the clip that we just watched is that another thing that I felt, Mr. Anonymous, is that she somehow has convinced herself that she's a victim, right?
No,
she's
they have been on the victimhood side. If there's anything like that, they are always. That's why the sister had bodyguards and all those things, because they are a victim.
Okay, and people are just hating on her because, you know, she's feeling like I don't understand.
You can't even explain why they hate on her.
I don't understand it, because what people want is to hear an honest truth of what happened and to help Senzo's family get justice for their son. That's all.
Other than that, there's a disconnection. We don't know her.
No, and we wouldn't care for her.
Maybe we would know her sister, but we don't know her.
We don't actually. No. It's about the case. It's about Senzo Meyiwa. It's about what happened that night at your home. That's what it's about.
Where you were peeping through the door.
Yes. Those details.
Exactly.
That's what this is about. It's not about you.
Even now, we talk about you because you are testifying in Senzo's case.
Yes.
So the reason you're here is because of Senzo.
Yes, if it wasn't for the trial,
No,
I
we
don't
wouldn't be
think
talking
we would
about
care.
you. We've been talking about you. Also, wouldn't be thinking of a song of public figure.
No. And even with the
I
sister.
mean, how she changes it as someone else called her a public figure while she's the one who initiated it.
She called herself a public figure while she was filing for us not to see the face and hear the voice.
Before the name was said, the arguments were based on the public figure.
But lawyers like,
my lord, the next witness is a public figure. So she sincerely fear that if she's visualized, my lord, that could jeopardize her work and with the supporters, my lord. So it was never us.
Isavelela country. Yo savelelwa. Yo savelelwa. I-drama. Engaka. Sure, I get it. So someone also, I read a very interesting comment and they said it's really misleading for her and her family members to grandstand pretending that anyone has a vendetta against them when people just need accountability.
I think
while waiting for
I think
her
we need
cross-examination
that.
next
We
week.
need that. You know why we need that? Because initially there were people who were saying that maybe Umaga Senzo is really at fault. Now to see her showing them what without any cause, she can really project to them. It sort of now gives you a direction or even a clue of what that family had to go through.
While we were not seeing
So
anything.
while we were not seeing it, we don't have anything. We didn't say anything. Some of the things she says them, she forgets that she says them, and she makes it about someone else. Public figure is a song that you are going to create, but the public figure word came with you.
She did say that in her application for not being seen or heard. So we will wait for her
I'm
cross-examination.
wondering, I'm imagining her
We'll
singing.
wait.
When this won't be sung a public figure. Hey. Guys, we had to laugh. This is just for the last story. Ngizokutshela indaba zakho mina. Ungangijwayeli kabi.
No, uyakhumbula even Silo Makeka Ncube catching strays. Just for having an opinion.
Isn't she the one they are talking about? Just thinking out loud.
Catching strays, wathukwa, ubaba wabantu wathukwa.
That's where I'm getting the song from. Yeah, when siswa ngizokutshela indaba za. Forgive my voice because singing is not. Yeah, well, Emily, I think on my side, that's it from me.
No, we'll wait for next week and the cross-examination to begin. Akiri, is Baloy done? Is he done with?
We don't know. We're waiting.
So we will find
Anything
out.
is possible in that court. There's a lot of you cannot have order there. You follow what everyone is doing.
Sizobana khona girl, sobana next week. For now,
it's a bye from us.
Thank you for making us laugh. It's been a while.
Yeah, we've been serious a lot.
On the troll.
Bye-bye.
Bye guys.